When I started my job as engagement editor at the Center for Public Integrity, I had a rare opportunity that most 25-year-olds don't get: to build audience development strategy for a national news organization. Before my first day, I was thinking of new ways for the center to build a social media strategy and use new technology to attract readership. I thought my strategy was flawless, but then an email from a reader crumbled my plans. Nancy Scher, 71, from Madison, Wisconsin, sent me the following note on my second day. I am a Madison resident and 71 years old. After spending years in education, I'm glad you want to contact the young. However, don't forget senior citizens. We have time, well, some spare time. Last, I don't appreciate Twitter and other new approaches for communicating. I prefer email. Does that make me set in my ways? Hope not. If you want to engage in audiences, I am sure you are aware that you have to know group preferences and habits. It may well be the case I am becoming a curmudgeon, but I remain involved, especially on issues of juvenile justice for the marginalized, the poor, and groups who are targeted and treated as guilty when they did nothing wrong. So don't forget your silver-haired, invisible friends, Nancy Scher, Madison, Wisconsin, and Ormond Beach, Florida. After reading this, I thought, had I been so focused on social media engagement and innovation that I forgot about readers who don't use social media or even apps? Nancy's email brought me back to an article that a former colleague of mine wrote for Demon Lab a while back called "The Readers We Can't Friend." In it, she explains that while journalists have become super tech savvy and highly active on social media, we have forgotten about the readers who aren't on Twitter, Facebook, or using some really cool app. And in doing that, we've forgotten about a large swath of our audience. Current data released this year by Pew shows that 29% of online adults don't use Facebook and 77% don't use Twitter. There are many people like Nancy who get their news on the internet but don't use social media to tell them what the latest trend is and may find apps and new technology exhausting. These audiences are out there and we need to find them and engage with them. But how? How do we engage with people who are trying not to be found in a digital world where attention is the name of the game? I want to use an MJ Bear Fellowship to build engagement strategies for digital audiences who are not on social media or tech savvy and figure out ways to measure their level of engagement. I plan to do this through 4 concentrated steps. The first is to build an outreach model that could apply to all newsrooms. The second is to examine what forms of non-social engagement have been working in the news industry and make a model that everyone can adhere to. The third is to research engagement strategies that were used in the pre-social media era and figure out how we can apply that to our current landscape. And the fourth is to put at least one of these strategies into practice with my current employer to see how it works. Our mission in media should be to inform and engage our audience wherever they are. And I want to use an MJ Bear Fellowship to involve the Nancy Schers of the world in the news media's engagement process.